All right, so we're at the last piece of the puzzle when it comes to putting the wedge matrix together. We've spent a good bit of time talking about the importance of all the shots inside 100 yards, the importance of having the right utensils in your bag. And we talked about how it's my preference to find out what a player hits out of a bunker first, to make sure that they have the bunker club that they're comfortable with that gives them that tool. So we're going to use our good friend, longtime student Nathan here. Nathan, what do you play out of the bunker?
Is it 58?
All right, so what I'd like you to do first and foremost here is hit this 58,
All right.
new Zipcore 58, and I'd like you to hit that off the turf. And again, Nathan, obviously a good player, like lots of good players, doesn't ever just go swing it his lob wedge or his 58 as hard as he can,
Correct.
right? It's more important to swing it at a speed where you get the distance you always know you're going to get, and you're able to control the spin and the trajectory. So hit your stock 58, but I think that's a great lesson for any golfer listening to us. I mean, when you pull a lob wedge out off the turf, don't try to hit it as hard as you can. Harder you hit it, the more it's going to go up, not further. So go ahead and hit one for us. Always pure Arky.
Yeah.
How far did that go?
Okay, so that 58 degree carried actually 80 yards on the dot.
80 yards on the dot. Isn't that about what you were expecting?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to have Arky hit his pitching wedge here.
Okay.
Okay, and then from there, it's like, look, you know, pitching wedge is obviously a scoring tool, comes with this set. Everybody's is different. I like to know how far they hit their pitching wedge because it's going to be part of the set, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, the pitching wedge isn't going anywhere.
Okay.
So we know how far he hits his bunker club off the turf. Now we're going to find out how far he hits the pitching wedge off the turf.
Good swing.
Nice move there, Arky.
Okay, so pitching wedge carried 142 in the air.
All right, so we've got 80 to 142. So that's a pretty substantial gap, right? So where would you go now? We've got to fill in that distance because you don't want 60 yards.
Yeah, so start based on the loft of that pitching wedge, start with a 50 degree.
Okay.
See if we can't get something close to 120 yards.
Okay.
Another good one.
Looks like you've been taking lessons.
Okay, so that 50 degree actually carried 121 in the air.
All right, so
Perfect.
yeah, so that's exactly the number you were looking for. It just worked out that way. Now, where would you go next?
So I would probably go to the 54.
Right. Okay.
Just so you can keep the lofts kind of matched up throughout the set of the wedges.
You know, another thing I like to do occasionally too, and we can do it here, is after we get the wedges in, we may bend one of them a degree or so. You don't want to do too much of that because it affects the bounce, but I like to get higher bounces, and then if we need to strengthen one a degree to make the numbers fit exactly what the player wants, gives us that
You can
ability.
do that, absolutely.
Right, so let's go ahead and hit that 54 off the turf.
So just another stock good swing. 54 carried 103 yards in the air.
I knew you were going for around 100 because
Yep.
I think most good players want a club that they hit around that 100 number because it's something we get. So you've got your pitching wedge at 141. You've got your bunker club, which for you is a 58, which he hits right at 80. He hit it on the nose.
Correct.
And then he's got the 50 at 120-ish. And then he's got his 54 at 100, which puts a nice flow there.
Yeah.
And again, you're going to find every player that goes through this process is different because everybody's going to have a different bunker club. Everybody has different set makeups with different lofts on their pitching wedge and hits it different.
Correct.
But if you start with this, the main thing is you get a club and a tool that you can use out of the bunker, and you get the right bounce configuration to chip and pitch around the green, and then you get the mix right.
Yeah,
and
you
get
match
the
up the length that you hit each club with the loft.
Absolutely, and the goal here is for everybody to shoot lower scores. Nathan, thanks for your time. Jackson, I think we did a nice job of walking people through the process of putting the right wedges and the right tools for lower scoring in their bag. And as you know, I always believe those right tools are the Cleveland wedges, and in this case, the brand new Zipcore. I mean, they're hot.
They're great.